You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Stugotz, do you remember the name Bishop Sycamore? Do you remember anything about the name Bishop Sycamore? You have problems with retention.
I do.
Basically,
yes.
You read things and you don't remember them.
Thank you.
You are largely fried from too many dead shows. Do you know what Bishop Sycamore is?
I do not, no. Have
Nope.
we discussed it? Or?
No recollection whatsoever about that fake high school football team that ended up on ESPN and playing against IMG Academy, and people don't understand how they were able to play a football game on ESPN when they're not a high school, they're not students. And we talked yesterday about what you want from your documentaries and don't want as it relates to the University of Florida documentary on Netflix. HBO and HBO Max have done Hyperobject. Adam McKay has created Hyperobject. We're in business now with Hyperobject. They did a documentary for HBO Max about how batshit crazy a con the whole thing was. It has a lot of details in it. It's 90 minutes, so it's not even half as long as the uninteresting 4 parts that Netflix did on the University of Florida. But it's an interesting con. It's a well-made documentary. Most of the things that Adam McKay makes are exceptionally well-made. And it's a story that I sat there, even having read the details before, I still sat there and watched. And the con man is such a con man that he's hypnotizing. He's the star of the show. And you don't understand how he gets away with so much fraud. You'd love it, Stugotz, just as an instruction manual on how to do things with no shame whatsoever.
You had me a con man and fraud. I mean,
Lucy, have you seen it?
Yes, I watched it. It's everything I wanted Swamp Kings to be. I thought it was so well put together. They had every side of the story. It was one of those things where it was so interesting, but by the end of the documentary, I felt so gross. Because it sort of turned into like this. It was all a story of this man just taking advantage of high school kids and him being like, yeah, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it another time. Because
the consequences to date, as he endures 30 different lawsuits at least. And he just spent all the time on camera lying with a smile on his face. But somebody who is totally immune to feeling any shame or considering the consequences of not paying any of your debts. Just wanders around the earth taking things for free, yes, that aren't actually free. And
there's another one roaming this earth. I mean,
there is another one roaming the earth, doing it exactly the way, just as poorly as Stugotz would do it,
saying I'm going to do it again,
just as sloppy as Stugotz would do it. And the only truth that he tells when his lips moves is, "I'm going to do it again."
It's crazy because there was no law that was like, you can't make a fake school, because no one thought someone was going to make a fake school. So there were zero punishments for this guy.
Are you interested, Stugotz, in what it is that we're talking about beyond the fraud, beyond it? And I don't know that there necessarily is anything more interesting here, but you're talking about high school kids who were bad at football.
I might be able to get you here, Stu.
All right,
the name is BS High.
I'm there.
Get it?
Yeah.
Like Bishop Sycamore?
I got it.
But also bullshit?
Yes. Hey, thanks.
Also, some of them were not in high school. Several of them were much older.
Yeah.
And bad at football.
And really bad.
And there was no playbook or coaching.
All right, I'm in on this doc.
They said that all the plays came from Madden because, like, their coach had no
That's where all the great plays come from.
All of them were just doing what they had learned on
4
Madden.
verticals?
Isn't that what Tyreek Hill says that he does before games now to
That's
prepare?
how he prepares for DBs, by looking at their awareness on Madden.
Seems to be working. I mean,
Yeah, it is. That is the secret that he has. It's not the world-class sprinter speed. It's that he's able to do research on Madden before games that helps him pick up little secrets on what it is that cornerbacks do.
I was looking up Fyre Festival II, Dan, when you were saying how people were going to, do this con again, and there's a Fyre Festival II that's out. and didn't realize that they had already dropped one tier of tickets, which are sold out. Like, they sold out of the first tier of tickets for an event that notoriously was a giant scam, and they decided we're going to do this again a year from now in 2024, and they've already sold out a tier of tickets with no information on how this festival is going to go.
Stugotz, speaking of yesterday's conversation about documentaries and whether or not you trade access for story, for dilution of story, there are two Fyre Fest documentaries. The better one is the one that doesn't have the chief con man. The chief con man got paid for his participation in one of these documentaries. It's the lesser of the two documentaries. But Billy, are they doing it in the same place? Is it Exuma? Is it the same people? It's not like Nelly and the con man that are doing it, right? It's the scam, for those of you who do not know, I think it was Exuma. I think I have that right. But basically, they just got some influencers together to say there's an island party here that's going to be a great music festival. It did look very exotic and luxurious, but when people got there, it was a bunch of FEMA tents, and the island wasn't equipped to handle any people, never mind that many people. And it was a disaster where a bunch of rich kids, led by influencers, got stranded on an island for a weekend that wasn't equipped in any way, never mind a music festival, just to handle them living there. You're telling me they're doing the same thing with the same people? That can't be.
Well, first, minor fine. It wasn't Nelly. It was Ja Rule.
Major
Oh,
fine.
that's a
Yeah.
major
But
fine.
That would never happen to
I
Nelly.
believe it's
It
the
was
same,
Exuma, though.
I believe
Yes.
it's the same promoters, and this just says Caribbean Sea, Fyre Festival II pre-sale. And like, here's the thing. There's some
No money,
merch.
Dan? Or
There's some merch here that seems overpriced, obviously, but like maybe a keepsake that you would want. But can you trust them with like your credit card information? Like, probably not, right? Like a $60 T-shirt is way overpriced, plus $25 shipping if it's international. But like even $85, like if you're gonna lose your credit card information to these people, it seems like a bad idea.
There's an interesting tiering system here in terms of the tickets that they sold, because it seems like the Fyre 400, which were the first 400 tickets, were sold at $799. But then seemingly there was the Fyre starters, pre-sale 1, pre-sale 2, pre-sale 3, and pre-sale 4 that led up to $8,000 per ticket with no extra benefits. Just, hey, we have a pre-sale going for 48 hours or so, and if you get in too late, instead of $800, it's $8,000. And are we going to send you anywhere? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we'll send you somewhere. We're the same guys that did Fyre Festival last time.
It can't be the same people. It can't. Tell me that Ja Rule is again on the advertising.
There's nothing on the advertising. There's just the opportunity to buy tickets at some point. And you could buy a $40 hat or a T-shirt or a hoodie for $200. But like, there's no acts listed. There's
no
just,
location.
There's no location. It just says Caribbean Sea. Like, it almost seems
That
like
can't be right.
it seems like you deserve whatever is coming your
Exactly.
way if
Yep.
you make the mistake of giving them your money.
I wonder if I'd be willing to make the bet that they couldn't screw it up that badly again, could they? that it's not possible that just something that has brand name recognition for being infamously incompetent but has fame, that the currency today is attention, and so it doesn't matter whether it's fame or infamy as long as your brand has brand recognition.
If they do it right, it'll be a problem. They have to do it wrong. They have to do it spectacularly wrong. The only place they might fail is in doing it too right.
How are you paying $8,000 and having no idea what you're getting?
I can
though?
tell you what you're getting here in overview, the section. So drop 1 is sold out, unfortunately, Dan. I could, however, if you'd like, have you join a waiting list. Would you like me to have you join a waiting list for Fyre Fest 2?
Please do it.
Because it's back. Here's what your Fyre Pass gets you. 1 ticket to Fyre Festival 2. Fyre Festival 2 is targeted for the end of 2024 in the Caribbean. So, and then there's an asterisk next to that, which I'm assuming is telling you like, maybe
if there's
not.
a Caribbean.
If- yeah.
The asterisk is if it says climate change permitting.
You'll also get immediate VIP access to Fyre events, experiences, and community. Then there's another asterisk after that, which is confusing. Then VIP pass to Fyre lead-up events and Fyre pop-ups. You can also join the Fyre Crew, which is an online community with Billy and team. Not me.
But it seems like you get major access for that price.
VIP access to Fyre experiences, including Fyre fights, which I guess
who
they're
is
going
Billy?
into the,
Wait a minute.
the
Is
fight game.
Billy the guy in the documentary who tried to save Fyre Fest by either offering or being pushed and prodded into a situation where he had to fillet someone in order to save the festival? Is that Billy? Because there is one famous moment from that documentary. Who is Billy?
He is the founder, and he did spend some time in jail for fraud.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same guy.
He said Billy McFarland actually, and this is not a direct quote, but I believe he said that the idea for Fyre Festival II started during his 7 months in solitary confinement, which, why did he spend 7 months in solitary confinement?
That seems not real. Then you go down and it says the Caribbean. It says it's in the Caribbean Sea, and then it says open in Google Maps. And like, if anyone's on the site, feel free to click that now, because I did that thinking that will kind of like zero in on the location. And no, it's just the Google map. It says Caribbean Sea, and I'm looking at a map of the Caribbean.
He's doing it again.
Nothing's pinpointed on here. There's no information.
And people are buying them.
Got to make it clear it was Andy King who may or may not have had to fillet somebody, not Billy McFarland.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the distinction.
Different Andy King.
Yeah, not the Andy
Not the
King
Andy-
that was the original
Right.
program director.
Worst time in our show's
Our
history.
executive producer on our show many years ago.
You find that wallet, or what's happening with you?
I'm going to go to the car. Go ahead and carry the last minute by yourself.
I mean, but you owe $15. I can loan it to you if you'd like. I mean, it's not. Well, let me check and see if I have money.
What's the interest on that for payback?
Well, $15. So he would have to. So I put down 15 today,
And if he doesn't pay you back by the end of the week, it's 20 at least he owes you.
I would say more like 50.
Okay.
Yes, and next week 100, and the week after that 150. I hope he doesn't find his wallet. I have to see if I have money. Hold on.
Let's see.
What is the fine, by the way?
It was because he thought Nelly was
Yeah,
Ja Rule, or
Nelly.
Ja Rule was
Yeah.
Nelly, rather.
Yeah.
I only have a 20.
Too bad for him.
Oh man! But I hope he doesn't find it, so I get $50 at the end of the week.
I don't
No.
think he's coming back.
Oh, he's gone for good?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he is. Okay. Well, someone tell him that he owes me $50. So your fine just went from 15 to $50.
You had no material for a minute? You talked fine for a minute?
What else was I supposed to talk about?